Let me tell you a little story, okay? When we were living in Staten Island, we had a big house. We didn't own it. We were renting the house, but I worked out a deal with the landlord that I wanted to, because I was planning on living there for a long time. So I said, look, I will do repairs on the house, but you would have to lower the rent. Like she wanted like $4,000 a month or something. I think I knocked it down to under three. I knocked it down to like 2,800. She took $1,200 off the monthly rent, and I said, so you times that by 12, whatever it is. I said I'll spend that amount of money just on repairs because I just wanted to make it more comfortable for myself. So one of the things we did was we were like fixing up the kitchen, right? This one particular port. We've done a few things, but let me tell you a funny story, right? So the contractor comes down and he gave us an estimate, something like whatever it was, $5,000 to do just certain things we wanted to do. So now the guy goes like this, right? He goes, "What do you do for a living?" He asked me. So I said, "What's the difference?" I was joking to him, right? I said, what do you care where I get my money, right? So the guy says, "You're right." He goes, "Let me tell you something." The guy says, "I've some of my clients are mobsters, so they're wise guys. He goes, knock around guys, okay?" So he would say to me, he goes, "As long as the money is green, I don't care where it comes from." And if you think about it, it's kind of funny. Now, I'm not implying that I'm a gangster. I know everyone's going to say, "Ooh, I worked in sales for over 20 years. You know all it is. You know everything about my business already, so I don't want to keep repeating it. But, I hit the lotto. You know everything." Okay, I don't want to get into this. But the thing is this. The guy made an excellent point. When you go into a restaurant and you sit down and you order a meal, okay, like I did yesterday, I ordered a very expensive meal. I spent like $600 in total. Which I'm saying between a bill and a tip. Um, they don't care where that money came from. They don't care if I was, if I was a wise guy and and someone owed me money and I basically, took their thumb off or I broke their kneecaps. They don't care. They don't care. Understand? As long as I paid them for the food, right, John?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Like, this is the thing you have to understand as well. Nobody cares where you get your money from. That's it. Nobody. You could go into a Prada store. You could go Gucci store. You could go anywhere. You have cash. They give you the product. They give you the product. So you might be like, what is the point of this video? People continuously are so obsessed with what you do for a living. They're obsessed. They want to know, like, what are you? And people seem to have this thing where if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, whatever the case may be, you have what's called a prestigious, respectable job. Okay. There are YouTubers, not me, right? Not yet, who make more than doctors. There are YouTubers who make more than rock stars, who make more than famous celebrities. Like, I just give you one example, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast made something like $52 million last year. He makes just as much as John Bon Jovi, if not more. Okay, so why is it that you consider YouTube not a job? So many people say this to me. They say to me, "Oh, YouTube is not work. You don't work." This is
Oh,
work.
trust me.
This is
Trust me.
work.
This is 24/7 work. Okay, I've never seen Richie work so hard in my life. From the minute he wakes up to the minute he goes to sleep, he's constantly doing videos. And it's not so easy to do videos. It really isn't.
I get a paycheck from Google, the largest company in the world. You understand? I get a paycheck from Google. Now, yes, I have a direct deposit. Money goes directly into my account, but I have to pay taxes on this. I have a job with Google. And you're all telling me, "Oh, this is not a job." Okay, I have some news for you. My YouTube revenue is growing. Okay, now, in the beginning, I gotta tell you the truth. In the beginning, I was making 800 a month. Then I started making maybe $1,500, $2,000 a month. It's growing. It's growing, okay? I'm starting to get a tremendous amount of views. Now, I understand I'm nowhere near Lou. Lou made the big money. Okay, Lou's got like 72 million views, but I got almost 6 million views. I'm catching up. So it's getting to a point like if you looked at my total like ad revenue for everything I made so far, $40,000, $50,000. Yeah, and there's a reason why I'm telling you this. There's a reason why I'm telling you this. Is because it's not that I'm trying to show off. You're telling me I'm not working. So what is the definition of work to you? Tell me what the definition of work. What is the definition of work? You either go to work in terms of you provide some sort of a service, you sell some sort of a product, and at the end of the day, with the hours that you put in, right, you get a paycheck. Most Americans make about $40,000, $50,000 a year. That's probably, I would think, what? The average income. So as of right now, I'm making the average income of an American. That's it. So what's the difference if I'm a plumber? What's the difference if I'm working some sort of an office job? I just don't understand the mentality of how you all think. And it's growing. This is the thing you're not understanding. Eventually, I think I'm going to make over six figures. I'm going to make over $100,000 a year. Then the next thing you know, I'm going to make over $200,000 a year. Then the next thing you know, I'm going to make over $500,000 a year. Then the next thing you know, I'm going to make over $1,000,000 a year because I'm never going to stop. Now, you might say, well, that's all you're about. It's the money. No, I told you. Listen, we're all about making money. And why is that wrong? It's like you all pat Lou on the back when he makes money. And here's a guy who risks nothing. Here's a guy who never invested in the stock market, never owned AMC, doesn't own GTII, never owned Clove. Okay, but you pat him on the back. You pat him on the back when he makes money. The Apefather puts up my money on AMC. I put up my money on GameStop. And you don't pat me on the back. You don't pat me on the back. Yo, you don't have the right to make money. What?
I'm patting you on the back.
Oh, my wife is patting me on the back. Thank you. I love you. But the point I'm saying is this is work. Any which way you twist this, I am spending my time. I am providing a service. This is a service, it's entertainment, and I get paid directly from Google. So I'm sick and tired of people saying you're not working. So where do you get? Because I'm not making enough money. So when would it be considered work? When I'm making $100,000 a year? When I'm making $200,000? Like when would you consider it work? Tell me. Because maybe right now, because I'm making around 40 to 50 a year, 40 to 50K, that's not work to you. So when is it work? No, but I just want to know the criterias. I want to know the haters. Now let me tell you something. This $40 to $50,000 I make from YouTube, I want you to know something. It's a drop in the bucket to the money I already have. I have an income that's very substantial every month, and that's not YouTube. Okay, I don't want to keep bragging, but I'm okay financially. I have a house that has $300,000 in equity, $250,000 in gold. I have a monthly income that comes in each and every month. I have an account for real estate over $100,000 in it. I have cash, and it's like all you do is that you're all abusing me. You guys couldn't even. I don't even think live one day of my life. Most of these haters.
I said they're haters.
Just the dinner I had yesterday, where I spent $430, okay, plus a $200 tip. There's no way. There is no way. I think most of you, they would have had to call the paramedics. Listen to me. They would have had to ship you off. You would have probably had either a heart attack or a major panic attack if you had to lay out $600 on one dinner. And you continuously break my balls. I do this every day. Jennifer, how much money do we spend on food?
Oh my God. Too much.
We were just watching videos. Tell them the videos we were watching yesterday. Just as a joke, I was sitting down with my wife and my mom. We're watching videos. We're at Auto Bellows, $300 dinners. We're at L&B, $400 dinners. We're at, whatever. It's Outback Steakhouse. I'm buying 150-ounce steak.
It's crazy.
We're at Il Gordonello's in Tom's River, spending $300 to $400. We're at Fuji's in Fork and River, spending $300, $400 on dinner. And you want to laugh even when we go fast food, because people make fun of me, right?
Oh, no,
I'll go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Ask for
hard.
Dante. Ask for Dante. I spent $150. The guy says I never seen anything like this before. I've never seen someone come to KFC and spend $150. So even when I go to McDonald's recently, I spent $100 between breakfast and between lunch.
Who does that? That's crazy.
I go to Taco Bell. Look at my videos if you don't believe it. I spent $100 at Taco Bell. Okay, then you're like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, what is this point?
I'm not struggling.
Yeah,
I'm not broke.
Why do these people care?
I know, but this is what they call me. They say I'm broke, I'm struggling,
Yeah, okay.
and here's the thing.
Alrighty.
They say I'm not working. Like that guy John Bitton, I think his name is. He keeps saying you don't work, you don't work, you don't work.
But why
John,
does he even care?
listen to me very carefully. John, listen to me. If you're listening to me, John Bitton, whatever his name is. I'm already making about $50,000 a year on YouTube. Listen to me, John. Within another year from now, or possibly 6 months from now, I'll be making somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000 a year on YouTube. So when will you consider it work? If I'm making, you know how crazy these people are, Jeff. I'll make $1 million a year on YouTube.
They'll still bust you.
They'll say it's not work.
I know.
They'll say you're not working.
I know, but
You're not working, Apefather.
You know what I love? But like when you give money out or you like buy people they take. They don't care what you're doing. They take. But they'll talk behind your back, this and that. But when you give,
Well, that's why I stopped it. You want to know why I stopped giving money?
Everybody.
No, but do you want to know? And I've stopped this even with family.
Uh-huh.
You asked my wife Jen when I would have your family. Like I don't want to get too specific, but like I'll just say her brother. We don't really get along. I used to get $1,000 barbecue for this guy. I took this guy out to the Roadhouse, right? This is in Staten Island. It's a great restaurant. Spent like, what, $700 a dinner. And he would complain.
Oh, yeah.
He would complain. He'd be like, oh, why do you have to spend so much money? What's wrong with you?
He would get too nervous. Even though he didn't lay out.
He didn't lay out a penny.
Cent, he would get too nervous.
And this is the same thing I did with my friend Brian. Brian and Kim.
Oh, gosh.
They came over. They brought over a dog that looked like a horse. It was this big, like, sheep dog. The dog was bigger than Brian. Brian's like 6 feet tall.
The dog. In the pool. I had to jump in the pool.
The dog jumps in the pool. My wife had to jump in to save the dog. Listen to this. I used $1,000 in cobs because I had from Atlantic City. Okay. And I brought home like 10 steaks from Gordon Ramsay, every side, everything you can imagine. Forget about it. Amazing amounts of food. But the woman, his girlfriend Kim, thought that we were like doing drugs. She thought we had a suite, that we had prostitutes.
Yeah, she thought he was like with other.
She has this thing where she doesn't trust. A very insecure woman.
Very.
She's like, oh, he's Atlantic City. He's with a prostitute. And I had to keep reassuring her. I'm like, listen, I'm only coming here. She's like, oh, he's going to gamble all his money. Now, I admit to you, I gambled a little, but not that much. I played maybe a few hands. I think I won $200. It was very innocent, and I kept reassuring Kim. I said, Kim, Brian is not, and he wasn't. Brian would never take this gambling. She doesn't know Brian. Brian's the type of guy you go to dinner, right? He doesn't even reach in his wallet. There's a $300 bill. He's like, thank you. Since I've known Brian, he's never paid for one single dinner. He's never taken $1 out of his pocket. Okay, so the point is this: the woman wouldn't stop. She kept breaking balls. She kept tormenting us. I come home. She's screaming at Brian, you mother effer, you piece of garbage.
I warned her. I told her. I said, look, fight with him when you leave the house. I said, eat your food and then you can leave.
All right, but she wouldn't stop.
No, but she started cursing.
In front of my children.
Flipping out.
Cursing.
It was just totally
screaming in front of my children. And that's when I told her, I said, get the F out. But you want to know what's funny? She got out. But she made sure that she fed her dog. The dog had like 2 steaks. She took 2 steaks home. Brian took 2 steaks home. I would say out of $1,000 worth of food, they took $800 worth of it. They took about $800 worth of food. Now, you want a funny thing? They're not talking to us anymore. Now we're on their not talk list. But this is the way of the world.
Yes.
The way of the world, everyone judges you. Everyone says, oh, I don't like what you do for a living, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. We're not here to impress you. Okay. I live my life on my terms. I wake up when I want. I go to sleep when I want. I eat delicious, very expensive dinners.
What does it have to do with these
because
people?
they say I'm broke. They say I'm a joke. They say they say
Why?
I don't work. Listen, everything you're saying is
Believe me,
not
we put our
true.
blood, sweat,
It's
and tears into
inaccurate.
things. Trust me.
It's inaccurate. My minivan is worth more than most people's portfolios. My minivan, it's worth more. I bet you, you know what? I know we joke about it, but I bet you if you would go to these people's, like these haters portfolio, they probably have like $2,000 invested. They probably have $3,000 invested, 4,000. My minivan's worth about $20,000. So my minivan's worth more than your portfolios. Okay, so that's all I have to say to you. Hasta la vista, baby. That's it. I'm done.